The following safety rules and guidelines are intended to promote a safe work environment and apply universally to all industrial jobs. These fundamental guidelines are intended to be compatible with and in addition to all other safety procedures. Each employee is expected to accept the personal responsibility to work in the safest manner possible, abide by all safety rules, and actively participate in safety program activities. Unsafe conditions should be immediately reported to your worksite supervisor. If the unsafe condition cannot be immediately corrected, take action to prevent exposure to others. All on-the-job accidents should be immediately reported to the ParkWest office and your worksite supervisor. The following activities are strictly prohibited: horseplay, fighting, firearms and weapons of any kind, smoking outside of designated areas, and cell phone use while on duty. ParkWest Staffing is a substance-free workforce provider. Do not report to work under the influence of drugs or alcohol. When taking prescription and over-the-counter medication, notify your supervisor of any potential side effects at the start of your shift. Good housekeeping promotes safety. Do your part to keep the worksite clean. Promote good personal health by practicing good hygiene, getting a good night's sleep, keeping physically fit, and maintaining a good diet. Do not perform any task unless you have been properly trained. Only trained, authorized employees should operate machinery. Use the proper tool for the job. Make sure tools and machinery are in good condition. Common workplace injuries include the shoulders, hands and fingers, knees, and back. Reduce these common injuries by organizing your work, using mechanical aids, using proper lifting techniques, avoiding double handling, maintaining good posture, and avoiding repetitive strain. Minimize the physical effort needed to lift, carry, move, hold, and restrain items by organizing your work. Use mechanical aids whenever possible. Use proper lifting techniques. Avoid double handling by loading in order of delivery or loading bulk items together. Maintain good posture when seated and adjust seating when necessary. Work in the straightest, forward-facing position as possible, with your arms as close to your body as possible. Avoid straining to reach away or overhead. Do not stand, kneel, bend, or squat for long periods. Change positions frequently. Avoid repetitive strain injury by working at a steady pace, changing positions often, taking stretch breaks, and using automation when possible. Prevent slips and falls by making sure walkways and stairways are well lit. Use handrails when going up and down stairs. And wear slip-resistant, well-fitted shoes. Look before you walk to make sure the pathway is clear. Secure wires, cords, and cables from walkways. And walk, don't run. Use safety cages and fall restraints when you are more than 6 feet up. Clean up debris after each job and clean up or report spills immediately. Before climbing a ladder, check its condition. Make sure the rungs and safety feet are okay and the spreaders are working. Keep rungs free of oil and grease and wear slip-resistant shoes. Always go up and down facing the ladder, holding on with both hands, and use a tool belt or tool bucket to pull up tools. Never overreach and always maintain 3 points of contact. Never use a metal ladder when working with electrical equipment. Never use a chair as a replacement for a ladder. Use a step ladder. Always use a step ladder tall enough for the job. Make sure the spreaders are locked open before climbing and never climb above the second rung from the top. Forklift operators must be trained and certified and are required to wear the appropriate PPE while operating the forklift. Before starting the vehicle, perform a routine check. Note any damage or problems. Use the steps and hand grabs to board the vehicle. Ensure that all equipment controls are within reach. Adjust the seat and mirror positions and fasten the safety belt. Use only designated roadways. Observe all warning signs. Do not exceed floor loadings and clearance heights. Do not exceed the speed limit. Make direction changes and stops gradually. Steer clear of bumps and other ground hazards. Use your horn when closing in on corners, entrances, and pedestrians. Keep a safe distance between other trucks. Check loads for stability and damage. Check for overhead objects before lifting and stacking. Make sure the load is evenly distributed and make sure you have clear visibility. Know your forklift and never exceed its capacity. Never stand or walk under forklift machinery or the forklift load. Do not approach operating machinery from the blind side. Always let the operator see you. Refuel forklifts at the designated location. Switch off the forklift and never smoke in the refueling area. Park the forklift in the designated parking area. Engage the parking brake, lower forks to the floor, and make sure they do not extend into aisles or walkways. Personal protective equipment should be worn properly, fit properly, be kept clean and in good repair. Never use defective PPE. Avoid wearing jewelry or long, loose, frayed clothing beneath PPE. Secure long hair back and away from machinery and moving parts. Do not wear slick-sole shoes, loose or frayed shoelaces, or clothing with long hems beneath PPE. Always wear clean clothing beneath PPE. Eye protection should be worn when working with chemicals or hazardous liquids and to minimize hazards from falling or unstable debris. Eye protection should be ANSI Z87 approved, fit properly, and be in good repair. Locate the eye wash station at your work site. Before removing eye protection, brush, shake, or vacuum dust and debris from hard hats, hair, forehead, and the top of eye protection. Do not rub eyes with dirty hands or clothing. Check the MSDS books for a list of chemicals used at your work site. Wear the proper hard hat for the job. Adjust it to fit snugly. Do not use the space between suspension straps for storage. Don't alter the hard hat in any way or use it if damaged. Follow the manufacturer's recommendation for care and cleaning. Avoid dropping your hard hat and get a replacement if your hard hat absorbs an impact. Foot protection should fit well, provide good support, and be in good condition. Foot protection should be made of leather, rubber, or a strong synthetic material with a non-skid sole. Hearing protection should be used when noise levels exceed 85 decibels. Never use cotton or a homemade device. Keep earplugs clean and replace them as needed. Hand and arm protection should be used when working with machines and tools with moving parts, chemicals and solvents, extreme hot and cold substances, and when handling objects with sharp edges. Use the proper gloves for the job. Use brushes and not your hands to clean debris. And never use your hand to perform a task that should be done with a tool. Always wear the appropriate clothing beneath PPE. Properly maintain your PPE and wear PPE when required. Keep your work area clean and free of debris. Keep combustibles like paper away from heat and machines. Place oily rags in the appropriate metal container. Follow the label and MSDS handling and storage precautions. Clean up spills and leaks immediately. Follow grounding and bonding procedures when dispensing. Use ANSI approved flammable safety cans for dispensing. Use only in well-ventilated areas. Use away from heat sources. Treat empty containers like full containers and remove any saturated clothing immediately. Replace damaged cords and wires. Do not overload circuits, motors, fuses, and outlets. Make sure to have good ground connections. Only smoke in designated areas. Use space heaters in well-ventilated areas where they cannot fall over. Electrical tools must be properly grounded or double insulated. 3 conductor extension cords must be used. Use ground fault circuit interrupters in wet areas. Never use a damaged cord. Oxygen should be stored at least 20 feet from highly combustible material or separated with a 4-foot-high, 1-hour rated firewall. Portable fire extinguishers are classified to indicate their ability to handle specific classes and sizes of fires. Labels on extinguishers indicate the class and relative size of the fire they can be expected to handle. To use a fire extinguisher, break the seal and pull the pin. Aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the trigger, and sweep the extinguisher from side to side. Remember, pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. Never extinguish a fire yourself unless you have been properly trained to use the extinguisher. The proper extinguisher is handy, the fire is small enough to handle, and there is an escape route. Always keep clear access to fire alarms, fire extinguishers, exits, and aisles. Know your worksite's evacuation procedures, escape routes, and evacuation assembly areas. Know your responsibilities under the emergency plan. Act quickly when you hear an alarm. Close windows and doors not needed for escape. Assist any disabled employees. Leave by your assigned exit or the closest safe exit. Go to the assigned safe place. Stay in the assigned safe place until authorized to leave, and follow any additional instructions. Your safety and health, the protection of property, the general public, and the environment are of the utmost importance. ParkWest staffing is committed to providing the leadership and support necessary to develop and maintain a successful safety program.